All right, it's this week web exclusive for the Washington Huddle, week 2 of the NFL season. Coming up, the Commanders, of course, debuted against the Arizona Cardinals. I am here with Commanders postgame show radio host Scott Jackson, who is joining us in studio now. Scott, welcome to the studio.
Thank
we
you.
got the nice little digs. Arizona, there was a lot of thought, or at least I thought Washington might look a little more dominant. And I know, but then thinking about it, it was like week 1, sort of a clunker game. You're breaking in Sam Howell. Just your general impressions of how that game unfolded.
Yeah, I mean, look, they didn't cover the number as everybody's looking at. But yeah, they had some mistakes offensively. I think Sam Howell maybe was a little too comfortable at times, holding the ball a little bit too long, maybe looking for that big play where he should have taken the check down or eaten it or run out of the pocket earlier. So yeah, I think there was some sloppiness involved with the offense. You got to take better care of the football. Not many times in the NFL you're going to lose the turnover battle and actually win the game. They were able to do it because of Arizona. And I also think Arizona had a little bit of a chip on their shoulder. They're hearing all offseason, oh, you're the team tanking for Caleb Williams. The front office is doing stuff. Doesn't mean the players in the field feel that way. And the guys in the locker room, they got a lot of pride. So they're not going to go out and just lay down for teams. So I think there was a little bit of all that. And, in Washington also gave them some life. I mean, Antonio Gibson fumbling inside the 20-yard line hurts. Yeah. Those kind of things. Hal giving them a scoop score, giving them their only touchdown of the game. So those kind of things, Washington was almost like gift wrapping it for a while, and then finally got their act together and was able to pull it out.
Earlier in the game, it looked like a couple after the Gibson fumble. I was worried. Yeah. Go back to before the game. Josh Harris, the new owner, walking in the stands, high-fiving the fans. I mean, explain what that. I mean, that was a pretty cool scene.
It really was, and I got there really early. It was tailgating, and the fans were just so excited. So many people were like, "Hey, it's my first time back in so many years." Right. You heard a lot of that. I saw my son before the game. He was there, and he's in his 20s, and he's like, "I don't think I've ever been to a game where it's predominantly Washington fans here." And it didn't really hit me. And I was like, "Yeah, it's probably right, because you'd have been too young back when RG3 was playing at that point." So it's been a while, and it was really exciting to see so many people back into it and that are excited about what's going on. And it's a step. I mean, look, they're going to play the Bills at the next home game. There's probably going to be a lot of Bills Mafia there. They still have the Eagles and the Cowboys and the Giants in the schedule, which always bring a lot of fans. But it was good to see, a little bit of a fence put up around the home field for once for the Washington franchise.
Logistically, I know they were trying to make it easier to get into FedEx. How did that go?
I thought it was easy. I got in a good 2 hours ahead of time. Most people were already in the parking lot.
Okay.
I mean, it was packed. On the way out, of course, I have to wait a couple hours because I'm doing the postgame show, so I don't ever have to worry about that. But from what I heard from my friends that went, they were really pleased with some of the improvements there.
And then moving forward to week 2, of course, Commanders traveling to the Mile High City to take on the Denver Broncos, a place that really isn't friendly to opponents in week 1 and week 2 of the NFL season. Broncos, Commanders, general thoughts still here early in the week? Well,
look, it's they're the underdog as they should be going to Denver. Watched some of Denver last week too, and there were some better things from Russell Wilson. He's still not the guy they traded for. That's why Sean Payton's there to fix that. That will be interesting to see. I think the Commanders' defense, you got to feel good about what they did last week, but there's some things they can clean up too. They dropped 3 interceptions, right? Can't do that this week if you get opportunities against Wilson and Denver. You got to make the most of those things. And offensively, you just got to clean it up. You have a ton of playmakers. Get them the ball. Hal just has to be a little bit smarter with his decision making, a little quicker too. I think his reads have to be a little faster, and he's got to make a little quicker decision. I don't think you want to get too comfortable back there.
I don't know the stats off the top of my head. Curtis Samuel, how he's implemented this offense continues to me to be a mystery. I know he's like a gadget guy.
Yeah.
I feel like you got to try a few more things. What do you think in terms of his production?
Well, I mean, I look at last week and there was not enough McLaurin. Right. There was not really enough Dotson either. It was just one of those games. It was kind of a mesh of different things. You had Logan Thomas just coming back, dropping balls. You can't have that. And I thought there should have been more Brian Robinson. I really thought they should have been a little more stubborn with the run. I think 16 of the last 17 plays were runs. Before that, it was very pass heavy, which is funny because, at the end of last season, they were talking about how they want to get more of a run-oriented offense. Then you go out and hire a guy who worked under Andy Reid his whole life, and Andy Reid is not run-oriented at all. I mean, they can run, but they're usually the most pass-heavy team in the NFL. I think Bieniemy was kind of playing that way, and then, obviously, as the things were kind of slipping apart there, he went back to the run.
Just quickly, Scott, as Washington travels west, score prediction from you. What do you think this week?
I think it's going to be tough. I think the Broncos probably pull this one out, but I think Washington will compete, but I think they'll probably lose the game like a 20-17 kind of decision.
Got it. All right, that's Scott Jackson again, post-game show host for the Washington Commanders here on the radio, and he's in Hampton Roads now. Check out his show, the Drive Time Show on 94.1. We'll see him next week. Have a good one.